Lewis-Skelly.
Everybody knew the potential that he had. He's comfortable in all phases. He can pick up the ball off the left-hand side, right-hand side, in the middle. He's press resistant. He can dribble past two, drive up the pitch. He's got that turn of pace. And do you know what I love about him? He's got that arrogance, you know.
I can't believe for 18 how strong he actually is. Every time I've seen him play, he just doesn't look out of sorts. He can travel with the ball, people bounce off him, and he's technically sound. He can get forward. He's shown he's got a bit of an eye for goal.
It's not until you see kind of plays after plays after plays what this kid's got. It's really silky, he's clean, he's strong, he's good on the ball. Well, hang on a minute, what can't he do? I mean, he looks an outstanding player for Arsenal now for many years to come.
All of a sudden I'm seeing comments, this kid's still not humble. People just trying to tear this kid down like he shouldn't puff his chest out, be confident and say, I'm making it.
Myles Lewis-Skelly is the Premier League's new young star. Everything around him has looked incredible since his first major Premier League appearance. However, there is a dark side to the shiny facade. Something very wrong that directly affects Lewis-Skelly's development, which, if left unaddressed, could see one of England's greatest talents fade away, like so many others over the past decade. But to get to that point, we have to start at the beginning. Myles' passion for football was evident from an early age. In May 2015, aged just 8, he joined Arsenal's prestigious Hale End Academy. Another curious aspect of his life is that, unlike 99% of footballers who devote themselves entirely to the game, Lewis-Skelly was actually an outstanding pupil, literally one of the brightest kids around. But that didn't stop him juggling academics and football. And from the moment he arrived at Hale End, he was regarded as one of the most talented kids at the academy. Throughout his formative years, Myles' versatility became his trademark, something that hasn't changed to this day. Primarily a central midfielder, his work rate in both attacking and defensive roles was astounding. You might be surprised to hear this, but do you know who little Lewis-Skelly was compared to? Well, he was so dynamic and versatile in both phases of the game that coaches and analysts saw in him the future Arturo Vidal and Michael Essien. His exceptional ball control, technique and stamina made him a formidable box-to-box midfielder who could operate equally well on both sides of the field. Fast forward a few years and we reach the 2022-23 season, which marks a significant milestone in his development. As a full scholarship player, he made 22 appearances for the youth team, scoring 1 goal, as he also provided 5 assists. His consistent performances didn't go unnoticed by the first team, and he ended up on the first team bench and later joined Mikel Arteta's squad for the pre-season tour ahead of the 2023-24 season. Yeah, he didn't get a chance to play for the first team last season because he needed a bit more maturity in his game before making the breakthrough. But his academy coach, Jack Wilshere, said he's doing things you can't coach. And well, the big moment for Lewis-Skelly came on the 22nd of September 2024, when he made his senior debut against Manchester City. Yeah, realistically, he played a minute or so in the closing stages of a very nervy game that could have easily gone Arsenal's way. If we zoom out a little, we can really see the rise of Lewis-Skelly if we just look at those 2 league games against Man City. In September, he made his debut, but did not have much of an impact on the game. Whereas, in February, Lewis-Skelly was arguably the team's man of the match. Of course, we can't overlook the fact that Lewis-Skelly has been lucky to start most of the games for Arsenal over the last 4 to 5 months, with the senior squad plagued by injuries, particularly to players in his zone, such as Ricardo Calafiori, Alexander Zinchenko, and the ever-absent Takiro Tomiyasu. He seized the opportunity to step up. Initially deployed in midfield as a youth, his adaptability allowed him to play almost effortlessly at left back under Mikel Arteta. And with each passing game, Myles has become increasingly influential for the Gunners. Much like Ethan Nwaneri, who also came through the ranks for Arsenal, the pair could easily be named the 2 breakthrough talents of the 2024-25 Premier League season. Yes, I really mean it. There have been plenty of talents to emerge this campaign, but none of them are anywhere near the level of the 2 Hale End wonder kids. And speaking of them, they shared a beautiful moment in one of Arsenal's most fascinating performances under Mikel Arteta, the 7-1 demolition of PSV Eindhoven in the Champions League. The pair combined brilliantly for the Gunners' second goal, which was crucial for the team's confidence. This goal really came to show us that, apart from being a brilliant team player who does the dirty work, guarding the ball and often making the pass before the assist, like it happened against Monaco in the league phase for Saka's goal, Lewis-Skelly is also a brilliant direct provider in the final third. And arguably the perfect example we could give is his debut goal for England. He was out playing predominantly as a left back and having the audacity and intelligence to read Bellingham's movements, time his run perfectly, shoot between the keeper's legs with his first touch, is out of this world, and also being remembered as the first goalscorer of the long-awaited Thomas Tuchel era in charge of the England national team. That's what I call a special talent. And yeah, if England eventually manage to win something big in the forthcoming international tournaments, we will all come back to that first Lewis-Skelly goal for the national team. But like we already said, there's one big problem with him, and that's the treatment he's getting. Regardless of the fact that he's only 18 years old and still on the rise in his career, many haters, mainly opposition fans, were not happy with the way he celebrated his debut goal against Man City. Yeah, he intimidated Erling Haaland's famous celebration, and you can be sure that Lewis-Skelly has been waiting for this moment ever since Haaland rudely said, "Who are you?" in the first game of the season at the Etihad. Well, some 4 months later at the Emirates, Haaland finally realised who Myles Lewis-Skelly really is. And here I'm asking you, what's wrong with that, Mr. Haaland? I mean, if you're a champion, a great scorer, a record breaker, you shouldn't be affected by such provocations at all. Yeah, it's obvious that Lewis-Skelly had planned this, but the provocation was in response to Haaland's actions in the first edition of the Man City-Arsenal game this season, and his now famous "stay humble" quote. In the days following the 5-1 win, a number of pundits, most notably former centre-back Jason Cundy, made some disgusting comments on television that went viral on social media. On TalkSport's post-match show, he literally said that it might not be the wisest thing to celebrate like that at 18, because you never know if there's another Roy Keane out there who can do something similar to what Keane did to Alfie Haaland 2.5 decades ago. This is the sort of nonsense we've come to expect from Cundy as a pundit, who himself had a pretty forgettable football career. So I'm sure the Arsenal youngster won't lose much sleep over it. The best thing he could do for his future is block out the haters and focus on improving his game. If he does this, then he is destined for stardom. What's important is that we nurture our talents, caress them and put them in the best possible position, hoping for them to finally deliver something big for England. Now, what are your views on that topic? And also, do you think Lewis-Skelly has the potential to mark an era for Arsenal and the English national team? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed that one, please consider subscribing to the channel or check out our latest upload, in which we talked about Myles' best friend in Arsenal, Ethan Nwaneri. I'm waiting for you there.